Good morning. It's a beautiful day for a run. Oh man, is it wet though? It's raining. 3 miles on the plan. It only rains on the weekends. That's the only time I can get it done. Life and running and music, they share lots of similarities. At first, people think improvisation is the opposite of structure, right? Because improvisation is running well and living well and musicking well. But the truth is, as a jazz vibraphonist, if I get away from working on some of the least creative activities for a long period of time, say I get away from working on scales and chord progressions, these things which after decades of playing can get monotonous. If I get away from them, then my improvisation suffers. It's the same thing. I can improvise in my work life because I have a job to go to every day and work on, and a structure to improvise upon. And running, it's the same thing. I'm feeling, now that I'm well into this 5K plan of Jeff Galloway, it certainly has weaknesses and strengths, but I trust Galloway, especially his early writings when he was still close to being a 10K Olympian, right? You know, this guy knew what it took to get done. And if they are low volume compared to a lot of the plans, that doesn't mean they're necessarily less than. It means just trust the plan. So today, 3 miles. This is my first time hitting the 5K distance in the plan, though he also says you can throw in races throughout. And I threw in a 5K race already last week, so not impossible. But in a lower mileage plan, you certainly have to improvise a little bit more on your speed. So in this type of quote unquote long run, 3 miles, a few fartleks where you pick up the pace might be a good idea if that's what you're feeling. Boy, getting this run in the blue hour, which is the hour before the sunrise, you can see how everything looks a little bit blue. I think it's gonna last a little longer because of the rain. Cloud is covered. Yeah, so by vlogging every run of this 5K training plan, I suspect anybody could jump on here if they're running, not their first 5K, but maybe their second, right? Maybe their 10th. And do the same workouts, right? Same time goals, same rep goals. And I would suspect get everything that everybody's gotten out of that Galloway on running program. Now, maybe you can find it online. Well, sometimes it's nice to see somebody suffering through it while you're suffering through it, right? Suffering through it's not the right word. Again, sorry about the lighting, but what you gonna do? Gotta get my son to gymnastics later. So we're running again in this hour when the light isn't the best, the blue hour. Yeah, so this week, that's 1 mile down, 14:27. This week, I have a 20-minute run, which I did on a treadmill. Only time I could fit it in was at work, right before work. And I've been using work for my weightlifting. I've also put all the weightlifting I've done onto the playlist that I'm creating, right? This training for 5K, 5K training, the Jeff Galloway one, the one I'm doing now. So you know, I'm lifting twice a week, right? Not long lifts, not heavy, much lighter. I'm coming off of, before this, that strength training program where I tried to put on some muscle and successfully did. Started barbell workouts, which I had never done before. Oh look, let there be light. I love the autumn trees. The 3 mile route is this way. Okay, yeah, so all of these, the lifting and the running, are in this, so you can follow it week by week. 3 runs a week, and I'm doing 2 lifts a week. I'm also doing some walks and hikes in there, but I'm not recording those and putting them in there on days when I don't lift or run. Sometimes on days when I do lift or run. You know, because walking can be thrown anywhere, and it's good for you. In fact, before running on streets was popular, all the Olympic runners used to walk for distance because walking was an acceptable thing. Running didn't really become an acceptable thing until, publicly in the US anyway, until the 60s, when Bowerman brought his jog clubs over from New Zealand, right? He got the idea from there. And maybe if you lived on a beach before that, you could get away with it. Or if you're dressed up like a boxer, because boxers have always jogged for their training. But most people did not. So any walking you do is going to help your 5K. It's going to help your overall endurance, your aerobic health, which is going to help your 5K. But having a plan like this is one that's based on repeat 400s with rest in between, right? That's going to help you ideally get a faster 5K. Proof will be in the pudding. I don't think the plan ends right at any of my races, but I will have races near the end, and I'll also jump onto the track for a time trial if I don't have something that's close. Starting out at a 35-ish minute 5K time. I did a tough trail 5K, 40 minutes. Time doesn't count on trail 5Ks. It's a different thing. Lots and lots of elevation on that, but man, that was a good workout last week. So this 3 mile workout I'm doing today, I'm doing it like a very light fartlek. So nothing's heavy. I'm not pushing into the 9-minute range, which is where I need to get. It's rather just doing some that's really easy and some where I'm pushing a little bit faster. Fartlek means speed play, right? So you find maybe a couple trees to pick up the pace a little bit between, and that's how you play. It's fun playing, improvising. Question of the day: how do you incorporate improvisation, creativity into running, into work, into life? Amber waves of grain.